Hey guys, what's up today? I know like lately I've been doing a lot more of my Twitch stuff on here and a lot less of like my animating stuff, which I wish I could do more of my animating stuff, but life has been crazy busy. But I wanted to come on here and talk today about this situation that's going on Twitter and just some of what I think about it because of some of the things I have been going through. So I don't know if you guys were on Twitter today, but there was a pastor on there who posted something on his social media that got a lot of people upset within at least the Twitter community that I'm in. And I wanted to kind of just share my thoughts on this whole thing because I'm going through a process like figuring out who I am, and part of this kind of goes with that whole journey of my past and how I was very much treated like this growing up, and I want other people to know it's not okay for these kind of things to happen. So here's the tweet. If you guys didn't see it, this guy's name is Brian Suave, I think. So he's a pastor, and he posted this on Twitter today, and it blew up. Like, people were just, they were angry. So we're going to talk about this. So it says, "Dear ladies, there's no reason whatsoever for you to post pictures of yourself in low-cut shirts, bikinis, bra and underwear, or anything similar ever. Not to show your weight loss journey, not to show your newborn baby, not to document your birth story. Your brothers." So the reason I wanted to talk about this today is because I grew up in this culture where this whole idea was that like men had authority over women and basically had the right to tell them what they can and cannot do. And I can tell you right now, like, I definitely felt like this goes in that whole idea that you're a slave to men. Because in Christianity, that is a huge thing they put on women, is that you have to be, well, first you're a slave to God because you have to obey God and do his commands and everything you do. But this idea has been frustrating to me and a huge topic in my life lately because of my past and because of the journey that I'm on right now. This whole idea stems from the idea that men are the ones who have an issue, but they don't have any way to control themselves. So they basically make women into objects that they can control because they don't understand, bodily autonomy and the idea that women can be their own people. This pastor on Twitter today posted a tweet telling women what they can and cannot do because he believes women are slaves to men. I got sent this by my friend today, and he was like, "Hey, you should go check this out." And then I went over to that page and I wrote a reply back about how if you think that you have any right to tell a woman what to do with their bodies, then you believe in slavery. And if you believe in slavery, then you need to go look in a mirror and figure out your shit, because slavery is not okay in any circumstance. It made me happy, though, to go on to his Twitter account and see that a lot of my friends who have like OnlyFans or just had babies, or, the things that he basically said not to post, a lot of them are going over there and posting them as like a big FU, because he honestly believes that he can control women. And it just made me like want to get on my soapbox, because I have dealt with a lot of these issues of growing up in purity culture and men thinking that they owned me and used me as a doormat because I was this naive little girl and I couldn't stand up for myself, and I didn't understand that I could be my own person. Purity culture is something I'm strongly against because of my upbringing and how it affected my life in a negative way. I was told from birth that my entire identity was wrapped up in God and in being a wife and being a mother, and basically a slave to my husband. If my husband had needs for anything, he came first, and my needs were basically shoved to the back burner, and I was never allowed to bring them up because that wasn't my identity and who like Christ wanted me to be. I had to be this perfect little housewife and do everything right and still allow myself to be put in positions that are not healthy for anybody, to the point where I didn't even have a right over my own body or my own person. And growing up, I was never taught about consent or the idea that people can't just take what they want. Because in the church, that's what they teach you. The husband is the one who's closest to God, so he gets what he wants, regardless of what you think or feel. Growing up like this and being told my modesty is there to protect men because they're incapable of self-control was a horrible way to live. If you really do believe that you're a Christian and you believe in this all-powerful God, why do you not have the fruits of the Spirit within you like you claim? One of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control. If you're incapable of self-control when it comes to lusting or wanting to basically get with a woman, then are you telling me that you don't have the Holy Spirit? Because when men talk like that in the church, that's what I hear. I hear that no matter how powerful and how loving and how amazing your God is, he can't stop your urges to just basically want to bang a woman. And to me, that just shows how little power that this supposed God has, and this spirit of God that you're supposed to have in you really helps you be who you're supposed to be. It's disgusting to me that they blame little girls and women for their own perverted desires. Growing up in this environment created this narrative around my life that my sexuality and my body parts belonged to God and my husband. This went to the extreme of my own body. It wasn't even mine. I never had the option as a teen or young adult to step outside and even wear a bikini or wear short shorts. When I was a teen, the boys could go to events at the water park or at the lake when we went to camp and things, and all they had to wear was shorts. They could be topless, they could go in the water, no problems, no questions, none of that. But I wore a one-piece bathing suit, and all my friends wore one-piece bathing suits, and we were still required to wear t-shirts because we had boobs. And according to the church, boobs make boys want to just fuck everything. You know, they teach in the church this whole idea that if you lust after a woman, that you've already committed adultery with her in your heart. And that whole idea of thought crime and the fact that boys are incapable of having that self-control, which, as we said, doesn't make any sense if you believe in the Holy Spirit and the whole idea that the Holy Spirit is supposed to give you that self-control. But it's really disgusting that they blame these poor naive girls who have no experience when it comes to anything sexual, and we are told our whole lives that we just have to be modest and not do anything that's going to make boys want us. And in reality, when I think back on it, it's like I didn't care about that stuff as a teenager because I was a naive little girl and I didn't understand, you know, those kind of ideas, and because I wasn't taught that. And when I went to the pool, like, I just wanted to go hang out with my friends, and I never understood why I had to be punished for basically just being a human being. My sex education was so limited. The basic gist was, you don't have sex till you're married, and then when you get married, go crazy, which is completely and totally unhealthy for anyone because there are so many factors that go into it. And when you don't have that experience and you don't know what you want and you don't know what you need, you can't have a healthy sex life. Having a healthy sex life is so important. But Christianity makes it impossible to do that because you don't get to explore who you are and you don't get to understand where you're coming from and what you really do desire and need to be a healthy person. I know for me that was a huge problem because I married someone that I was not sexually compatible with, and it didn't go well. If you're not compatible with someone, not just in interests and in, you know, intellect and all that, like, sex is a big part of that too. And I feel like the church often overlooks that, and they just completely ignore the fact that this is something that both people need to be balanced on. Otherwise, things are going to go sour real fast in that relationship. Everybody has different needs and wants, and if you're with someone who's like hypersexual and you're not, it's gonna cause a huge problem in that relationship. I didn't have the ability to explore what I needed and what was gonna be healthy for me because I got married young. And I wasn't able to do that. I wasn't able to find out what I needed and who I was really. And I think now, thinking about it, because of the process that I'm in, getting divorced and having that second chance to like really find who I am and figure out who I am, has made me a much healthier and happier person. And I enjoy finding out what I like, and I'm more open with people about things, and, you know, talking to people about their different experiences and my different experiences, and just learning from other people. And, you know, one of the big reasons I started my OnlyFans is because I like to dress up. I like to be sexy. I like to have fun. And I didn't get to do that when I was married. I didn't get to explore those things. I didn't get to be the person that I wanted to be because it was never about me. It was always about what the other person needed. And it makes me happy. I like dressing up and being sexy, so. And, you know, if people want to go on there and see what makes me happy and support me in that way, I'm totally okay with it. And if they don't, they can just walk away quietly and not cause a fuss. But the fact that so many men within the church think that they need to stand up and be like, oh, you're doing this because you're a terrible person, or because, who knows, all the excuses they make up to basically tell me I have no right over my own body and I have no ability to know what I want because I'm a woman and I'm incapable of knowing those things, which is just ridiculous. If they don't have to follow me on Twitter, they don't have to sub to my OnlyFans, they don't even have to watch my YouTube channels. Like, they can go live their own lives and be in charge of themselves. But they need to stop telling women and anyone that they hate and disrespect what to do, because it's disgusting. You only have control over your own life. You don't have control over anyone else's life. Everyone should have the chance to be and explore who they want to be. This man and so many others like him in the church or outside of the church who think that they know what they're talking about, just know they don't have any authority over you. Don't let anyone tell you what you can and cannot be. You're the only person who can be you. So be you. We all get one life, and we should enjoy the life that we have. I know I'm a happier person because I have allowed myself, for the first time in my life, to be me and no one else. And I don't allow other people to dictate who I should be. And I don't think people are ever going to be content with who they are until they allow themselves to have their own identities and be the people they want to be. So Brian, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, just know that you only have control over one person in this life, and that's you. You can deal with your own body, but don't you dare tell other people how to deal with their bodies, or what they should post, or what they should do. And if you ever feel the need to tell anybody to do anything with their own bodies, you need to just shut up and walk away. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, friends, for watching my rant.